On low bandwidth remote links, we've all played with PTZ heads trying to chase someone and overshooting, and then they turn and walk in the opposite direction, and you've already overshot too far in the other direction, so you come back and you overshoot again the other way. The delay and lag on low bandwidth links with pan and tilts is always a bit of a nightmare. With point and go, you click once on the screen. That is the next picture you're going to see is going to be centralised on that point. It's been features like this have been done achieved in the past as expensive add-ons to systems. This is just an integral feature of the user interface and of our Oracle Dome technology. And in fact, if you want to zoom in on someone, just draw a box around them with the mouse, and it will zoom straight in. We're trying to make it the fact that the interface is easy, intuitive, and doesn't require a lot of bespoke knowledge. And then finally, as we've just done in fact on our launch this week at the show, EcoSense product, no matter how simple you make it, it doesn't negate the need for some training. And we've had police chiefs say, the people that can guarantee that my officers will know how to take an archive off that unit, print it on the lid of the box, do it, but somehow, so that when my police officer walks in, he knows how to get the archive off of that unit, because he might have 1,000 sites to go to in a square mile because there's been an instance. He doesn't say to every single one, I have to go, okay, anyone know how you do an archive on this? Oh, I don't know, I've not done one for 6-12 months. Jim might know, and we'll see if we can find them. And you go through that every time, it can vastly multiply the time involved. In fact, what happens in that situation, the policeman says, no way, I'm seizing that, and your system's gone, and he's taken it, and he takes your system away. And seizes as evidence of it's a significant issue. So having the immediate access to training material where you need it at the unit is absolutely vital. So what we've now done, we actually now have both general operational and user and system configuration training tutorials on the unit. If you want to know how to do an archive, go into the help system, scroll down to one of the 2 or 3 different archive choices for the type of archive you want to do, click, you get a 2-3 minute video. It tells you exactly how to do an archive on that unit. Now that again reduces, makes it much easier to get you out of that trap of an operator being stuck not knowing how to do something, but also reduces your costs of ownership in terms of ongoing training and support, because you do know that that training is available there immediately for any operator. Video analytics. I read in one of the magazines saying that the big talk of last year's show was analytics, and what's the big thing going to be this year. We've seen a lot of claims on analytics, and to my mind a lot of somewhat flawed business models, or at least business hypotheses about what should happen with analytics. And we've taken a very cautious approach to date, because we felt in the early stage of the analytic market there would be a lot of vastly overstated claims, and I think our expectation that was completely fulfilled. I must share with my most favourite analytics demonstration tape that someone showed me recently. This is an object left, object removes, that identifies that someone is going to leave an object behind. And their claim is that from their posture, from these subtle biometric measurements, they can tell that someone is going to put a bag down. And you watch the video, and it's quite impressive stuff. There's people walking past with a bag, but they've just got a little yellow box for them, and then someone walks into the view and he's got a red box around him, and he's carrying a bag, and yes, he puts the bag down and walks off. To my mind, they blew it when someone in the marketing department obviously got a little bit too carried away, because one of the guys came onto the scene and had only got as far as seeing one shoulder and the side of his face. It was already boxed in red. We couldn't even see whether he had a bag or not. He'd only been there for about 1/10 of a second, but from that 1/10 of a second snapshot of his shoulder and what ear, the system knew he was going to leave a bag. And you know what? Damn me, he did. And I'm not saying all claims on analytics are overstated, but you must be very careful, and certainly overstating claims does not achieve our mission statement. We want to exceed people's expectations, not fall way short by hoping that if you get the sale first, someone in the technology department will cover your ass by the time it's got to be delivered. There's nothing wrong with looking forward to what the technologies are and being forward-looking, but you've got to make sure that you're doing something that's realistic. We've always felt also that putting analytics in additional add-on PCs, it's great for the 20-30 site trial perhaps, but again, the 2,000 location rollout or the 5-year usage, is it going to be sustainable? Is it going to be scalable? Probably not. Classic example is partly why we acquired DTEC is video smoke detection. Theirs was a PC-based system, and the business had grown to its own glass ceiling because the time and effort of maintaining and supporting PC-based add-on side service solutions meant that they were spending as much time supporting the existing ones as they were selling new ones, and they basically just couldn't. The business became unscalable beyond that. We now have that technology running in a completely embedded environment, completely remotely configurable, completely remotely supportable, completely integrated into the rest of the NetView connected family. That business is now in a position to grow strongly, because we believe that analytics can't be an add-on to your system; it's got to be part of the system. Equally, we've heard a lot about the business models of the analytics companies, and it goes something like this. Analytics is $1,000, $1,500 a channel, and someone's read a report that said in 5 years' time 80% of video inputs are going to have analytics on it. Ooh, so what's that? That's 4 million, 4 or 5 million inputs a year of analytics at $1,500 bucks a time. That's $6 billion. $6 billion worth of business. Great business to be in. Let's just stop and think about that. Are these still going to be $1,500 a channel when they're on 8% of the inputs? And the answer is no. The reality is there is an element of analytics on 8% of inputs now, because in the 80s and the 90s, VMDs were add-on units. We did the Uniplex 2 in 1989. Had a built-in activity detector. We didn't want to call it a VMD because if we called it a VMD, expectation would be too high and support costs would be high and customer expectation wouldn't be met. We actually called it an activity detector. It's altered the sequence, the interleaving of the cameras being recorded, such that it would maximise the recording. We didn't overstate it. It did a great job. It's been, and many machines to this day still effectively use a form of that activity detector. And that's where you get return on investment. Don't overstate it. Don't overdo it. And make sure it does a job well, rather than trying to do a bigger job badly. However, there is definitely a place for analytics. There is a lot of video processing capabilities, lots of video processing research and knowledge, and it clearly has its place. And we've adopted an approach of how do we get the balance between what adds value in a very broad sense and what adds value with very specific targeted solutions.